But for the most part, it's the same message. It's the same message. You are God. You have infinite power to create anything you desire to create, and your primary tool for doing so is your mind. And that's, that's the meat of all of this. Some commentary on what we were just listening to. That lecture is called "The Unalloyed." What's interesting about the claim Neville makes there, when he says, "Don't say I will be or I was, say I am, or you'll delay the manifestation." That's interesting because I have had things manifest quickly. And there was one example I told of about last week, of getting drops turned on a friend's stream. And even when I was imagining it, I assumed it would take like 6 weeks. It manifested that day after I took a nap. However, I do think there is kind of a subtle difference there because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't about my individual self. It wasn't about. I mean, it's all us, but it wasn't super personal. So I think what he's talking about there is when it's a self concept thing that you're adjusting. That's where that immediate declaration is really critical, because if you are holding it apart from you in time, perpetually holding it in the future, perpetually holding it in the past, you're not attaching it to yourself and truly identifying with it. When it comes to manifesting for others or manifesting general things or big things, it's almost like time can be taken out of the equation as long as in the moment of the imaginal act you are primarily identified with it happening now. And I think that can be true about self-concept things too, but if it's something you're thinking about and feeling into a lot, and you're laying down, a possibly contrary dominant feeling when you're not in a meditative state, well, that will continue to manifest. Just to give the easy example there, when it comes to money, if you're at night imagining being rich, but all throughout the day your thoughts are all about not having enough money, your dominant state is probably going to be all those thoughts throughout the day, because they are creating your reality just as much as the thought at night. Now, Neville has explained in at least one of the books and a couple of the lectures that the reason why he encourages what gets in a lot of the communities called SATS, the state akin to sleep, is because it's like a hack. It's a little sort of back door that we built in. Now, this is my simplification of the way he explains it, but essentially, he kind of says that, he directly says that for people who do not have a total discipline of mind, it's a workaround. It's a way to trump what's going on in your mind most of the time. So it is possible still to manifest doing that if you're thinking against it quite a lot. However, Neville is made clear, and I can pull it up to see give you the exact reference. The dominant feeling is what expresses, and only you can know what is really dominant in you. 192, the dominant of the two feelings is the one expressed. This is in the Neville compilation book. I'm going to see what book it's from. It's from Feeling is the Secret, Chapter 1, Law and Its Operation. So you can read that for yourself, because I know sometimes... let me see if I can read a little bit more of a context here. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression, and unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature, it must be expressed. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. Oh, and here's some more clarification on the time thing. I am healthy is a stronger feeling than I will be healthy. To feel I will be is to confess I am not. I am is stronger than I am not. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Therefore, to be realized, the wish must be felt as a state that is, rather than a state that is not. And if it's something that will be, it's a state that's not. So that's a really cool clarification of both of those points there. And I think this is super, super important when it comes to things we want for our personal self. And it can be too for other people, depending on if you've really laid down a dominant, you really have a dominant pattern of thoughts about who they are and what they're capable of. I have definitely seen this reflected in people I was trying to manifest for, because I had mutually with them built up a story about their limitations. And so it was actually even difficult for me to even imagine them in better states, because these states, I had just seen them in it so many times for so long, and then had seen it expressed in so many various situations that it was harder for me to imagine beyond that for them. So yeah, it can apply to other people too. All right, I think we'll just go straight into the lecture, unless if I had another thing I wanted to talk about, I'm sure it'll come to mind in a little bit.